Thank you for being here today. I know that the VA has been conducting numerous outreach efforts through their regional offices regarding veterans and survivors eligibility for PACT Act claims since the legislation passed last August. However, it seems also that rural and underserved areas may sometimes be left without some targeted outreach to them. I believe that one of the areas that we could bolster this outreach is through efforts of possibly educating our congressional personnel offices, specifically in the districts, about this to address how these offices can best assist our veteran constituents as well. So my question is, and of course I should have mentioned this initially, I represent Arizona's 6th congressional district. This is part of the Tucson area, and it also includes 4 other counties besides Pima County, and these other 4 counties are very much in the rural side of the counties. So how can Congress better partner with you at the VA to improve outreach on PACT Act claims in rural and underserved communities?
Thanks very much, Congressman. I think it's incredibly important for us to reach out to veterans, particularly in underserved and hard-to-reach areas like our rural communities. And so our regional office directors across the country have been holding regular outreach events with their partners in the health system, but also with the state and the local, the county veteran service officers and our VSO partners. And I would say one action I can take following up on this effort is to make sure that our Phoenix regional office director, who's been doing a lot of proactive outreach, is partnering with your office to identify opportunities in your district. We have a really incredible tool that we've developed that enables us to identify on a county-by-county basis the percentage of veterans in individual locations that are receiving benefits or not, so we can identify those underserved populations and try to target our outreach efforts there and most appropriately use our resources.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I do think that's highly important, and we want to make sure that every community gets served. I know that many of my colleagues on this committee also serve rural areas, and just that outreach is highly important. Another question here real quick. In terms of new hires, why are new hires who have not gone through the virtual, in-person, or VIP training allowed to process PACT Act claims? Are you considering changing this policy to require them to become proficient in non-PACT Act claims first?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Sure. New hires who have not gone through the VIP training, the virtual in-person training, allowed to process PACT Act claims. Are you considering changing this policy to require them to become proficient in non-PACT Act claims first?
I'm not aware of that, so I'd like to follow up with you. When we have new employees who come on board, we require them to go through VIP training, and then they, depending on if they're a VSR or an RVSR, there are several, it takes a prolonged period of time and several months. And so then they can continue to get that training. They come back and they typically get additional training at the regional office. And so they're ready in 6 to 9 months to start really being proficient, and then about 2 years to reach to a journeyman level proficiency. So we are taking a hard look at our training overall. So I think one of the things we've learned from the PACT Act implementation is that we've got some areas of improvement for our training on PACT specifically, but I'm taking a much broader look at the VIP training, which is what we provide to all new employees, so that we can have an independent review and make the course corrections that might be necessary to better support continuous learning in an adult learning environment.
You know, this obviously the feedback from the employees themselves. We have traveled to some of the regional offices and heard similar concerns here from the employees directly about the, I would say that the delivery of the training, specifically in-person training, training mostly provided through PowerPoint or via TMS platform. So this is more meant to be around the area of new hires, and should they be trained on how to generally process claims before they move on to the PACT Act claims? That's more of the nature of the question.
Oh, got it. Now I understand. Thank you for the clarification. I think 40% of our workload is now PACT claims, so I think they need to be taught PACT at the same time they're being taught the regular workload. But I think the broader point you're making is a correct one. We need to take a fresh look at how we're providing training to ensure that our new employees are set up for success moving forward. We've increased our workforce by more than 15% in the last year and a half, and we're continuing to hire more. So at the same time, we're asking our existing employees to do more, to process more claims, deliver more benefits to more veterans, and we're adding complexity through this new theory of entitlement and new ways, new effective dates and new ways of doing business. We're adding all of these new employees who are absolutely critical for us to be able to meet this growing demand, which we're excited to meet. But all of that creates an environment where there's a lot of change. And so we need to be very disciplined in terms of how we're rolling out our improvements and be vigilant in terms of doing oversight to ensure that our new employees and our existing employees are getting the support that they need. So we're taking care of employees so that they can take care of veterans.
Thank you. Mr. Trout, you're back.